What's up, everybody? I was talking to you before the stream and realized my mic was muted, but hey, it's all good. We're here now. Let's get into it. We got to talk about what's going on in these markets because we're still in an absolutely beautiful, beautiful range. And we got to talk about what's going on because it is providing us still this opportunity. Look at this price. We're only sitting here about 59,445, 59,400. And remember, when we're zooming out on this chart, when we come over here to the BLX, we look at the weekly. I mean, this absolute consolidation range at previous all-time high, same thing, bull flag. We also have this rising trend line here that we can see has proven to be a wonderful level of support. Currently, yes, we absolutely could lose it, but all the pressures we're seeing are adding up towards heightened buy pressure around the corner, and we're seeing limited supply. So Roberto Herrera said, "Sup, Kelly? How you doing? Sawtooth Hiker, Bad Fox, Corey Collins. We got everybody in here. Theo Rodriguez, Dave Middleton, Chris Fav, Indigenous, and Justin Eubanks. Only one of you provided me your address. I need your address. I sent you a DM on Twitter. Make sure you check that. I want to get those gifts out to you that you won last week. Yes, guys, we give back to the community here because that's what this is all about, all of us growing together. But let's pay attention to what's happening here. Yes, this is absolutely a bullish trend. If you are doubting this, then I don't know what you're looking at. Could it be a top? Sure. But when we look at this in context with what we've seen previous cycles, boom, up, boom, up, boom, and we have more capital channels, I do think we're about to see some explosive price action in the very near future. So we're going to dive into that here in just a moment. But everybody, my name's Kelly Kellam. I got something in my eyeball. My name's Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy stream where we bring you meaningful tools, content, resources, and we try to do this as a community. So get involved in the live chat. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know what your good performers are, what your bad performers are, what it is you want to see more content of on this channel. I don't want to just talk about what the things I'm looking at. This is supposed to be a group effort, so everybody, let's get involved. And on that note, we got to talk about the fact that we are still very early in the cycle. When we consider what's going on here, this is a chart that I really like from Looknode. This is an AHR 999X index. Sounds a little complicated, but essentially, if you have no idea what this is, pay attention to where the cycle peaks are and pay attention to how this oscillator is operating here on this chart. When we're looking at this, what do we notice? Cycle peaks in price action are also very heavily correlated to these massive dips on this AHR 999X. See this? Top, drop, bottom, up, top, drop, top, drop into this red zone. Okay, look at this. Just like these lows, look where this is in this low range when the price action hits that bottom. Where is this metric at right here? It's closer to a bottom than anywhere near a top. Now, we don't ever use one metric. We like to use a variety of different metrics to get a consensus. What is the think of it as every signal being a voting mechanism as to if we should lean more bullish or bearish, especially on the midterm and macro. This is voting that we are nowhere near a top. Now, when we look at this next data right here, we see the RHODL, which is our HODL. This is a relationship between that 1 week and 1 to 2 year old coins. When this is very low, if I can stop zooming in, very sensitive mouse. When this is very low, we can see this is correlated with the market cycle bottom. Why? Because you have more dominant long-term holders in the market. When they're selling and taking profits on the way up, you get more and more short-term holders. Long-term holders aren't willing to buy up at tops. This is why when we're seeing that $23 billion worth of coins, Bitcoin purchased in the I think it's been about 40 days now, with the price action up where it is right in this zone, it's suggesting that especially these long-term holder wallets that are buying, suggesting, much like we see on this chart, that we're nowhere near a top. Similarly, it also suggests that we're not super top heavy yet, with the predominant holders in the market being short-term hype cycle buyers. The data is suggesting right now that we are setting up still for the big move that tends to come after breaking previous range, all-time high, previous range, all-time high, previous range, all-time high. What's next? That's what you got to ask yourself. So when we're looking at all this and we notice looking at the coin market cap rankings, let's come over here, go like this, put it on, there we go. Bitcoin still $1.1 trillion, almost 1.2. Ethereum still over 300 billion. 75 billion for BNB. Solana sitting a little under 70 billion, right? 60, right at about 68 billion. XRP 32 billion, and then it gets obviously smaller and smaller as this goes down. Now, as we're talking about what's going on right now, we're still holding that $2 trillion market cap for the entire crypto market. Things are still very bullish, yet people are getting bored right now. And this is tends to be one of the most opportune times in a Bitcoin, or not, let me take that back, in an asset market cycle when things are boring or things are very fearful. And we just went through both. We just hit, extreme peak fear on that sell-off that we saw. If we come back over here to this Kraken chart, go to the 4-hour chart and zoom out on this, let's go to the 12-hour chart so we can zoom, daily chart. I want to show this, bounce, 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 rejection, rejection, bounce. Now, when we're looking at this, what do we see? We have to do this on a daily basis because we have to remind ourselves. Let's take this over now because I think we skipped it yesterday. We're about 100. No, that's the wrong metric. 162 days. We're not 162 days in. What am I talking about? Oh, right here. This is why. Sorry. Let's move this down. There we go. We're 116 days. These two things overlaying was confusing me. We're about 116 days post-halving. We've talked about this before. We got to remind ourselves because even myself, I was talking to some of the people here in our facility because, we have Discover Crypto, we have Blockchain Basement, we have DGen Alpha, we have Investing Bros, we have BitLab Academy, all of us coordinating, I don't want to say coordinating, working in concert with each other, being able to bounce ideas, disagree with each other, talk about the different signals we're seeing. And one of the things that, we're all of us, even those of us that are industry professionals, we still are subject to emotions. And what we're all subject to right now is the boringness of this right here. If we measure this from the top to where we're at right now, we have been basically 153 days, 154 days, 152, actually, I should say, from the market cycle top when we hit this. Let's look up here at the top, OHLC. Remember, open, high, low, close. So open, high, let's look at the H, that is 73,666, 73,734. That was our high of the range. We did break the previous all-time high here, but remember, in context with also having inflation and also having the speculation from all these ETFs, we got a little heated coming into this. And then we came back and we had the deviation the opposite direction, shaking people out to the upside, shaking people out to the downside, and essentially just consolidating sideways for 153 days. Now, do not misinterpret this range high with that measurement that we've been talking about for months now, which is that roughly 150 to 160 day mark post-halving. The halving was on April 19th. And when we consider that, we are still well within that metric. We're 116 days. We're looking for roughly about here, September 28th, somewhere. Remember, September 17th and 18th, I believe, are the dates for the next FOMC meeting where we'll very likely get rate cuts. And that is just before this metric that we've been drawing out, which is, if we zoom out on this, we come back to, let me double click here. Let's turn on the halving cycles, having past dates, boom. So what is this? It's about 163 days. It's about 163, 158, roughly, right? It's not an exact science, but this time range, 158 days. And then we look at the last cycle, about 165. If we change this based on where this is drawn, about 165, 155, 150 to 160 days. And so when we look at that in context with where the price is right now, why are we so worried? It's because we are impatient. We want this to make us rich overnight. Nothing is that easy, but it is that easy if you can be patient and let this market do its work to shake out the hands that don't deserve the profits. I don't mean that in a harsh way, but markets are here to be as frustrating as possible, to chop people out. And we can see this in some of the charts we're going to be going over today. We're going to come back. We're going to be doing some TA here in just a moment, but we got to talk about some of the things that are going on here. First things first, right here, we had that big talk last night with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And I just thought this was funny because a lot of the things going on, we don't necessarily need to play this, but if you actually see what they say here, this is just interesting. System audio. I just want you to listen to what they say and the audience laughing at it.
Has not been able to coalesce around a single attack line.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes a... I know.
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but...
So I know you guys are objective and you try to be truthful. The entire audience laughs, right? Now you look at this next right here and it says, boom, this is CNN. CNN fumes after the Trump and Musk X space last night, slams Trump for his comments about their candidate, Kamala Harris. Mission successful. It began with 40 minutes of silence and then an apocalypse of politics. So are they being objective? Are they being a news source? I miss the days when we had news we had 3 or 4 different broadcast companies that would share, and maybe we were just had the wool pulled over our eyes too then, which is very possible, but it seemed a lot more objective. It didn't seem like slam politics. This is not only news, but it's also politicians themselves. It's also all of us here and the way we interact with comments on posts and the way we disagree or name call. Let's drop all that nonsense. Hey, I'm here for, a good time, but I'm here to make money and I'm here to uplift and I'm here to make sure that we can all ride this market that's supposed to be an opportunity for all of us to change our lives to the top. In order for us to change our lives, we all also have to expect higher of ourselves. And in this case, when we're talking about the market, again, this is not a political show, but every once in a while we have to dive into that. But when we're looking at these markets and we see these price action and we see this 116 days post-halving, and we know it's been the last 2 cycles, 150 to 160 days to actually have that breakout, and we're so frustrated and we're name calling, we're trolling. Let's drop all that shit. If we want better, we need to expect better, not only from ourselves, but also from everybody also in the live chat on any show that you're on. So let's do this together. And by the way, everybody, there's still an incredible deal going on right now with one of our channel partners, and that is CoinW. Make sure you sign up. Just so you know, if you deposit $100, sign up, deposit $100, you get $100. You sign up and deposit $200, you get $200. And this is expiring in 2 days. And just to put this further, we are doing like and retweet for a chance to win $100 USDT. So you can get an extra $100 here. All you have to do is like and retweet this. By the way, in order to win this, you got to also have been go and sign up there. We're doing some live trading, live training. There's going to be courses. There's going to be also live sessions with me and other expert traders breaking these things down, getting us all on the right side of these trades so we can make money together. So everybody go and sign up on the link that's pinned in the top. It's on this post, but it's also pinned in the top of the live chat. And I will share it again right here in the live chat so you see it. Just so you know, it's also directly below right here. If you zoom right here, your thing should say subscribed. It should also have all tinged right here so you get notification. And it's this link right. Oops. It's this link right here. Trade with us here on CoinW. Sign up with that link. Deposit $100. You get $100. You got to do this by 2 days from now. And also remember, if you go and retweet this tweet right here, I just posted it. I'll post it again in the live chat. Go retweet this. You're going to have a chance to win another $100 USDT, and you're also helping support the channel. So big love to each and every one of you. We got to talk about what's going on here because we got some great charts to cover. Let's get rid of all this nonsense. Some spicy data this morning. Biggest spike in UK jobless claims in 15 years. Total cratering of German and Eurozone business outlooks. IEA reports Chinese oil demand down 3 consecutive months. Hold on to your hats. This does speak a little bit of fear into what's coming and potentially coming into traditional markets and what this could mean for what's going on right now. Because when we look at this correlation between the S&P 500, let's go back down there. Let's click it 7 times so it works. This correlation between the price action pushing up on the S&P 500 and the price is just going sideways on Bitcoin. Does this mean it's over for Bitcoin? It absolutely does not mean it's over for Bitcoin, because we have seen time and time again, I will go back to it, time and time again, going out here to the 3-day chart, this previous all-time high is a point at which price consolidates. This previous all-time high, boom, option J. Look at this. Rejection with a slight deviation, just like we just saw this cycle. And then we get that incredible acceleration to the upside. And this is what we're seeing again right now. If we zoom in on this, consolidating at that previous all-time high. So when we look at this in correlation with the S&P 500, and we look at this in correlation with what's happening in the context of previous market cycles, this is just a lot of strength coming in. Bitcoin's not ready to just absolutely run away yet. Doesn't mean Bitcoin's broken. It means it's also in context of its cycles while also having to contend with the directionality of the S&P 500. This is actually very bullish for Bitcoin, showing that there's still capital coming into markets. Now, the consideration that I just brought up with the UK jobless claims, the Eurozone, German issues they're seeing, is this pullback that we just saw on S&P 500 coming right down in here is essentially testing this range high. If this does have a lower high and break down, this may spell a little bit of risk off mentality for the Bitcoin ecosystem. And then therefore, much larger drawdowns, more likely in the altcoin market. Now, this is not happening yet, but we have to be prepared. And the preparedness here is, one, double click here, turn off the volume so we can see this. There we go. This zone right here is the next level down. If we do lose 56, especially down here into 54, and we can see this on these liquidation zones here, 58, we get down here into 56. If we go down on the weekly chart, we can see this, all the liquidity in the charts, it's cleared up across, but we do have this liquidity here, 56, and then down again, 54. And if we do lose this zone, I do expect we're going to be testing down into this 51 to 50 region. And of course, if we lose that, we'd be looking down here. I am not a doom and gloomer though. I am leaning more bullish because of the broad array of incredible bullishness and the fundamentals of Bitcoin that have basically shown themselves over the last and developed, a bit implemented, and the data that we've seen over the last year and a half. So when we see this, I do feel this is a little doom and gloomy. We have to pay attention to this, but we do have that FOMC meeting coming here in a matter of about a month. Likely rate cuts coming, and we'll have to see how the markets respond over the next 6 weeks. Now, doom and gloom, but at the same time, we're seeing global money supply exploding to the upside. I've been covering this with you all for a year and a half, and that is this chart right here, looking at this global money supply ticking up and how this increase in the money supply also front ran the large explosion in price action. Right here, FTX collapse, large increase, just explosion in money supply here, setting up the bullish case for risk on in markets. We're seeing this tick back up right here again. And when we consider what this looks like, let's see what it looks like actually on the chart. Well, this is what it looks like on the chart. We see the global M2 money supply year over year. Just here is that downward side. This is that explosion that we just saw on the other chart, that sharp increase. And look at where this happens, right in the middle of the FTX collapse, price going sideways, still consolidating, shaking off all the fear of those cascading failures that we saw for a year and a half on this way to the downside. But global money ticking back up and then set up. It's literally almost right where this crosses back positive. Boom, we get that upside price action. And look at how pushing up, small decrease in global money. Look at where we got the pullback, set up the bull run, then another impulse to the upside. And we're getting this kind of just rejecting at the same highs along the way, but we still had the large push to the upside. Now, why was this? New capital channels, one of the most bullish things we've seen in Bitcoin since its inception. And that is the fact that the biggest asset managers on earth, BlackRock and Fidelity, both seeing astronomical inflows. First off, this was a speculation into it, right? BlackRock announces their BlackRock announces their application for a spot ETF was somewhere over here. We had a little bit of the shakeout, but then starts getting real when all those documents start getting discussed and talked about with the SEC and the filings and the S1 and all those different things. But then the speculation evaporated on the day of it actually getting approved and then going live. We had about a 12-day sell-off, and then boom, exploded higher. Even though the global liquidity was down a little bit, this exploded higher. So one could argue this move up actually saw a bearish divergence in the money supply that could support this. This is a further evidence that the price being here, consolidating at previous all-time highs, and having less money to fuel that risk narrative, this is incredibly bullish that the price action has been able to hold so firm while the global money supply, as this was ticking to the downside, this still held at a relative challenge of the previous range all-time highs. This is very important. Now, this massive washout and having the bulls eat this back up, and right now seeing the global money supply tick back up. Let's reframe what this is. The fuel for the ability to go higher is now turned back on and ticked back up and breaking a 4-year, not 4-year, a multi-month, year and a half plus cycle of this ticking back up. And we're seeing this still at this cusp before it moves to the upside. Let's see. Just making sure. I think I had an issue there. Okay, boom. Now, I do want to just suggest that right now, if you're worried about what's going on, realize that we've been essentially trading sideways for, about, what is that, 156 days? Let's do that on a weekly basis. On a weekly basis, 161 weeks. Let's do that on a monthly basis just so we get some context. About 6 months, five and a half, 6 months. This on itself, with price action going sideways, is a shakeout in and of itself. Whether you have price action moving up or down, when you have price consolidating sideways, people get bored. When people get bored, they start making the wrong decisions. They keep jumping at every opportunity. And this is what I want to prevent you from doing, because there is a way to trade these ranges and not put your entire portfolio at risk. There's a way to increase how much Bitcoin you have by trading this chop range if you're doing it in a smart way. And it's going to get incredibly exciting once the price action does resolve this and break up here, clear the 62,000, clear the 68,000, and most importantly, clear the 71 to 73,000. That part of the range, I'll show you right here. Let's see, Kellam market cycle cheat sheet. We talk about this, boom, it's right here. This is what we're paying attention to. When you understand this right here, the bottoming, the rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation, retrace. Unfortunately, we're doing more of this right here. Rather than having a deep drop, we're having a sideways, slightward down angle before we get those last couple legs to the upside. Now, those last couple legs are going to be multi-month, and we're going to see some incredible price action coming in the next year and a half. The question is, are you prepared? Are you set up to make sure that you can do this to not only protect your capital, but also to increase your capital along the way? So that's why I'm saying, come and join us, trade with us over here at CoinW. Deposit $100, you get $100 free. Deposit $200, you get $200 free. And also, if you share, retweet and share after you sign up, you also are going to be entered to win another $100 USDT that I will send you myself. That's the tweet right there. I just shared it in the live chat. Everybody go. We're drawing this in 3 days. So go here. We've got only 9 of you, so pretty high odds right now that you can win $100. Just remember, you got to go and sign up on CoinW. If you have other exchange accounts, that's okay. I've got about 11 different exchange accounts to make sure that I'm diversifying. Different exchanges have different coins available, and also it helps you protect in case you have any issue. Now, go and sign up, deposit some money, and you're entered to win. And also, you're going to get these rewards. Boom. These rewards are done on the 15th. So make sure you join there. Now, when we're talking about what's going on, this is that chop zone that we're talking about right here. This is just ultimate. What did I say here? I said, Let's actually go to my page because I did retweet this right here. Boom. Bitcoin macro is bullish, but the midterm still in the emotional take your money if you're reactive stage. This is what I want to prevent you all from doing, being reactive. I want you to respond. I want you to have a calculated process for which you are attacking this market, so this market doesn't attack you. Kingston Crows says, I've been telling my friends about crypto since 2017, and they are scared to get in. Well, you know what? That's going to be something. They're going to be people that buy a top. And if they do, you have to tell them, if they buy a top, they either need to learn how to cut their losses very quickly or just be willing to buy and hold long term. I'm number 10 when it comes to updates. I'm not sure what that means objectively, real reality, objectively. Bat Fox says, yes, Nate Kelly is the total Chad. Well, I love you all. For me, this is all about community with all of you. And I just want you to know, I don't want to say frustrated. It gets monotonous when I'm trying to do TA on price action that's exactly the same every day. I want to keep you all engaged, but I also want to make sure that you're not getting caught in the chop. This is chop. Now, if you are a long-term holder, this should not be something that you're focused on. But if you're trading any percentage of your portfolio, and remember that I said percentage, none of you should be trading your entire portfolio. If you're trading a percentage of your portfolio, this is exactly what you want. You want to be able to trade this. Why? Because we have this W formation showing a higher low. The breakout of this zone was a perfect trade to take to the upside. Now, what do we get? We get a large impulse, small pullback. Now you see this large impulse, smaller impulse. Now about the same size, a little bit smaller impulse, but we cannot break this high. That was the signal. This is reversing. So the breakdown point, if you took the trade here, is to exit the trade right here. Why? Because we come down, we have a neckline right here. And then on this neckline break, that's the exit of the trade. There are mechanisms in place that you can do to make sure that you can constructively and with the process make money in any type of market structure. The problem is people see this and they think this is running away, so they buy long. And then when it drops, they're like, oh my God. And then they don't sell here. They sell down here and then it goes back up. And stop chopping yourself out. Set a very small portion of your portfolio aside. You know, throw in just $100. Throw in just $100 on this sign up here. Go, here. This is a referral code if you don't use a link, 2901135. But doing a calculated attack on this, a calculated approach on this market, so you're not just chopping yourself out emotionally. Now, when we're looking at this, we also see just sideways price action. This is that main level we're watching here, about $64,000. Okay. Now, when we're looking at this, is there a reason to be worried? When we look at this, the market is boring. Over the past 7 days, the net flow equals minus 8,700, so 8,748 Bitcoin, meaning there have been 8.7 thousand more Bitcoin purchases than sales. Other than Bitcoin being bought up, nothing is happening. And we're seeing, look at this right here. See this massive wick here? This is outflows from exchange. This is the FTX collapse, proved to be an excellent signal for where that bottom was. What are we getting right here? Look at this. We're getting increasing outflows on the market while price is setting up here, and some people are worried. Food is life, says Perfect. He said, if you panic while trading, then probably your position is too big. And also, you're not assured of what your risk management is, and also what your time horizon and what your plan is. Now, it's just Jason Bourne. I don't agree with this. He says, if the rules are crypto are easy, always short Bitcoin, refer to number one. I don't agree with that. There's plenty of times, the majority of the time we've seen in the history of Bitcoin has been more productive in this market. Now, when we're looking at this, we can also see other things like, where was I showing this? There was another one right here. AHA 999X. See how high this is? See these market cycle lows? See how high this metric is? We're nowhere near these market cycle tops with this metric being very low. And if you scroll down here on Look Note, it tells you it's an index, is an evolved version of the 999 index, which still uses the current price of Bitcoin relative to the historical price or the current price estimated by the mathematical model to evaluate the cost effectiveness of buying Bitcoin at current price. This has nailed these market cycle tops. So even if you don't understand the rest of this, is this peaking down anywhere near where we've seen in previous market cycle lows? Market cycle tops, not anywhere near. And when we come over here to the MVRV ratio, still relatively low. The spread of the market value to the realized value, it's not getting these super overheated levels. Realized profit to value ratio. Let's take a look at this. Let's put this on the 7-day chart. See how high this is? Market cycle top. See how high this is? Market cycle top. This had a little bit of a peak, but this has come down relatively, resetting, similar to what we saw here. See, this was not the market cycle top. This was an impulse up early in the bull cycle that corrected and then continued to the upside. Look at this, relative. If we put the mouse here, all the way across here, what do we see? Was this the top of the cycle? Nowhere near it. Okay, let's look at realized profit. Man, a lot of profit taken there. So it makes sense that there was a little bit of a sell-off that we saw. But where did the sell-off go? It went right into structures that we are aware of on this price action, which is this trend line right here. Support, resistance, and look at this. Support, 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 all the way back here to January 2021. The market is still in an incredibly bullish structure, but let's talk about some other coins. Now, everybody that's in the room right now, I want to see you all participating. Hod ho ho, or Heidi ho ho. How are you doing, Granny's Garden? Good to see you back here. This is why I don't trade, just huddle. Hey, for most of you, you shouldn't be trading. If you are going to trade with a small amount that's separate from your main portfolio, and do it with risk management. But let's go ahead and look at some of these coins. Ethereum, still well below this low here. You see the difference there? This was like Bitcoin coming up. It broke through these lows. It broke through these lows. It broke through these lows here. Ethereum, still a little bit suppressed, has not yet tackled this low range here. So one of the things that we're paying attention to here is, oh my God, boom, 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 boom. I got something from a DJ Master, but you're going to have to tune into his stream in order to get it. I'll share that with you here in just a few minutes. What we're seeing here, these lows, if you're looking at trading this, what we're looking at here is you come out here, you take for instance, if you're looking at shorting this, which I wouldn't be shorting something right now. This does, however, suggest on a small time frame with this bounce up and this, see this impulse. Now we're getting a double top in here. There is an argument to be made that this may come down and test down here to 25.40, potentially down here to 23.66. If that were a trade you're going to take, you can protect yourself by setting this up. Say that you want to get the price action up just a little bit higher. You want to get the price action up just a little bit higher here, not on this downswing here, because you see these bounces. See this bounce. You see this? I would wait for a little bit of a bounce in here, having your stop loss set just a little bit higher than these previous range tops in case you get a wick, and then set basically 2 take profits, one there, and then essentially copy, paste, and do another one right down in here. This way, when you set the trade, you are protected. If the price goes against you, you're not going to get wrecked. You also have one take profit for maybe 30 or 40% of that trade and another take profit for the remainder of that trade here. On the way down, as it happens, if the price does move down, say the price action comes down here and you hit this target, you move this one's, there we go. You move this take profit down into, the stop loss into this zone in case this does move up and reverses all the way back to the upside. You're closed out with both trades in profit. Does that make sense? And then also, if this does not have this strong reversal to the upside, then you can still harvest profits with the further short down here. Now, I will want you to all refer back to this. I don't recommend in an uptrend looking for shorts. But so many of you look at these price action, you're like, I want to short and long and short and long. I would advise that you look for long opportunities with healthy stop losses so you can capture the momentum of the dominant trend, because the dominant trend, when the explosion comes, it's going to carry that trade in a certain direction very quickly, much more quickly than we see on these shorts. Now, when we're considering that, remember, we just had the ETH spot ETF approved. And we're about, I think, 16 days. When did the ETH spot ETF go live? What day did this happen? Let's see. What date? Do you guys remember the date? Let me know in the live chat. And food is life. Ondo is sitting on a strong support level currently. It's very clear if you look at the weekly. Let's look at Ondo here in just a moment. I'll put this up just to remind myself. Put this on the stream. We're going to look at this in just a second. If any of you watching right now, I see, let's see, we got Arweave there too. So let's do Arweave. I'm trying to pay attention to those of you that are engaging here. Is Algorand dead? Let's look at that here in a second. I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying, man. What day was this? What day did the ETF go live? Tuesday. There's such a trade Tuesday. Here's what that means. So this would have been the 30th. So that means we're 13, 14 days in. And remember, Bitcoin had 12 days downward price action. So let's go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Look at this. It's almost exactly from what we saw on the Bitcoin spot ETF. When it launched, it immediately had a 12-day downward price action. Now, on the one hand, I would argue that if you're not looking at the dominant trend, what we see is a bear flag right here, or a bear pennant. We have the flagpole like this. Let's just go to the candle bodies rather than the whole thing here. And we have the pennant, or, flag, however you want to call it. If that's the case, then the measurement on this suggests that we may get a breakdown on Ethereum down to 1849. That very well could be in the cards. I'm far too bullish to think that we're going to get that, but we'll put a box here, because regardless, you have to outline, regardless of your bias, you need to put a potential target in the chart so you know that it is a possibility. So this is a possibility based on this price structure. However, I'm more inclined to feel like if we do get a breakdown, which we might, because even just considering this price action alone, this is a rising wedge. Let's kind of go like, let's kind of go like this. Boom. We got a bit of a rising channel or a rising wedge, however you want to call this. If this were to break down, which this pattern by itself suggests a downward break, it doesn't mean downward break and continuation. This suggests that maybe this is why I was talking about those potential shorts, which would essentially be somewhere here or somewhere in this range here, which would be about 23.63. I expect that more likely than not, because of the bullishness of everything going on in the fundamentals of Bitcoin and Ethereum, that this will likely be a more likely hold, but I'm still going to pay attention to this. And then that test here, up, test, continuation to the upside. That's what I'm seeing. But let's go ahead and look at Ondo and then Arweave. How many of you have Ondo? How many of you felt like you missed Ondo, and now that it's down, you're having trouble buying it? You're like, oh my God, I missed it. But now that we had, look at this move on, look at, God, you mother, okay, I'm going to break the computer. There we go. Look at this move from the top down here. We had a 66% move discount from that top. Have you heard any news on Binance US getting their onboarding and offboarding back? I haven't heard any news about that yet. But 66% discount from the price here, meaning whatever you bought here, you can buy 2/3 more down here. Does that make sense? If you did buy all the way up here and it's down here, you can buy the same amount and reduce your average entry price much lower, meaning the price rebounding up has to get to a lower level before you break even. So looking at this, let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and move this over to, let's Let's move. There we go. Move this over. Let's move this over. Now, where's the price action? Ask yourself where the price action went to. First off, what's the Fibonacci say? Where'd we go? Oh, you're telling me that we went to the absolute, look at this, just short of the golden pocket right here, which happens to correlate with where this price level, why do we have that there? Yeah, from this level to this level is why we drew it. And this is exactly where the price reversed. Does that mean it's over? No, because consider all of this chop that we had right in here. What this is doing, what I would be doing on this is I would wait because if you're going to trade it, if you're going to long-term hold it, great buy. If you're going to trade this, I would wait for a potential little bit of a move down because of the shape of this, much like we saw on Ethereum. A little bit of a move down, substantiating a higher low, but more importantly, a break above this golden pocket. This is what I really want. A break. Okay. A break above this golden pocket, finding support, having a little bit of trouble here because of this trend line right here. You see this? A little rejection, come back, find support on the golden pocket, and the breakout of this, if I'm going to break my computer, you guys, ooh, this pattern right here, this descending wedge that we did break out of, but we can break back inside of it, have some trouble, actually substantiate a bullish narrative starting to take place when we find support above this golden pocket, and then a breakout up, a support level down, and a continuation. This region right here would be an excellent, excellent trade. Why? Why not here when it's much lower? Because you always want to risk mitigate yourself. It stands to reason that not jumping at every move takes you out of the crosshairs of the chop. I mean, for professional traders, this is great opportunities. But as we're slowly getting integrated, and I slowly want to integrate you all into healthy practices and healthy like frameworks in your mind. Thank you for the thumbs down. I really appreciate that. Whoever gave it to me, the engagement is so meaningful. But on this move up, waiting for this, and then having it confirmed by finding the bulls defending an area, and then the break of this high here, this 9.22 cents. Now look at where this also is. This zone right here, let me just move this. I'll just use the arrow to move it sideways. Look at where that happens to be also. Happens to be the low of the previous range. You see that? You see this zone right here? So not only is this rejection at the 786 and the descending trend line right here, but also giving an opportunity for the bulls to defend this golden pocket. But then the break above, like breaking back above this, you're clearing a low, you're substantiated a confirmation of this breakout, and you're also clearing the next key fib. That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Now, somebody said they wanted to look at Arweave. So let's look at, I don't think I have that one up. So Arweave. Okay, boom. Let's go to the 3-day chart because we don't have anything mapped on this. So what do we see here? Boom. We got a box. What's in the box? Right here. Price action. We're going to draw this just a little bit up right here. And this is bounce, bounce, rejection, rejection. And we have this sort of chopping within it. And look at where this rejected right here. So now what we have is we have this sort of descending trend line here. We have this falling wedge that is formed here on the 3-day. So let's get down to the 4-hour chart and look at where this bounced. Boom, option J, right on this previous range top. Double click, we can see a little bit more data. Let's go to the daily first, now that we have a little bit of a map there. All right, stochastics angled up, RSI's fight. Look at this, RSI is fighting to get back above this mid-range right here. This, see on the right-hand side where it says 55, 50, this 50% range is sitting right here under it, starting to curve a little bit. We really want to see this get above this level right here. I'm going to make this red, or let's make it blue. There we go. We really want to see the RSI get back above this, right? Especially on this daily. We have the momentum wave of the money flow is still quite negative. But what I do like seeing is this VWAP pushed up, had a little bit of a reset. It's looking like it's trying to push for a positive spread. Momentum wave angled up, but we don't have enough strong bullish details there on this. but we do have this attempt all the way down, found support. Bulls ate this back up. We have a W formation starting to form, but what we want to do is we want to see the price action. We want to see the price action break above this sort of neckline that is formed from this point here. As it stands right now, that's on the daily. As it stands right now, it looks a little different if you zoom in. So looking at it in this light, it looks a little bit weak, much like we just saw. This is why you look at different time frames, much like we saw on Ethereum, much like we saw on Ondo. We're getting kind of mixed signals here where there is a bullish attempt trying to be made, but there's also bullish weakness coming in. If this head, shoulder, if this cannot really come up here and attack the zone, this may be forming that signal that we may have one more little washout. This is why the thumbnail for today's show was chop. Crypto chop. Is a pump brewing? I do think it is, but in the short term, it is still triggering people's emotions. That's what we're paying attention to. OTT, maybe look at Chainlink. We will look at Chainlink for sure. But what we're looking at, you want to let the narrative define the trend that's going to emerge. As this, look, all the way to the bottom, up, and we're hesitating. Where are we hesitating? Look at where the cursors are on my screen. We're hesitating at these previous range lows. So there could be multiple mixed signals going on. So on the 4-hour chart, the momentum wave is trying to curve up, but it's just not quite doing it fully yet. If we get down to the 1 hour, let's see what's going on here. Okay, 1 hour. This is showing on this smaller time frame. Maybe this is going to make that move. As it stands right now, stochastics angled up, RSI rolling up, VWAP angled up. What does the indicator say here? Look at this. Perfect reversal signal with 3 bullish divergences here on the BitLab trading stack. Let me go ahead and delete the Ondo chart. The post. Reversal signal, 3 bullish divergences right here, in addition to the fact that we had bullish sort of signals, bullish setups, and then kind of played out, came back, found support regionally at the weekly VWAP. So as it stands right now, this looks like it's going to try and make a move, but the money flow is still not supporting it. There's still uncertainty in the markets. Hesitation, a little bit of patience is required at the moment. Chainlink. What we got going on Chainlink? Let's pull this up. Actually, I have a chart here. Where's my link chart? Now, looking at this, they're all these alts are looking very, 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 very similar to each other. And it's all kind of determined on what direction starts to brew with what's coming for Bitcoin. And so it comes back. Yes, this could just break out. If we turn off the indicator here, go back to the daily. And remember, we were talking about this when this started brewing. I said, man, as bullish as I am on Link, I think there's a possibility, and I drew this out and I shared it with y'all. I said, I think there's a possibility that we have a price action attack down to, and this was a line that I drew months ago. And it didn't feel like it because it felt like the market was going to run. But then what happened? The price action comes back to this level. And not only did it come back to the level, we had the washout down to this other horizontal line, which we can just delete. But it came back down, didn't quite get down to this consolidation trend line that we talked about. And this is why I was telling you about laddering. If you had profits to take, if you're setting up profit taking zones, this was a clear one right here because of these levels. And this is exactly where the candle bodies, look at this, all closed right at it. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if we're looking at this on the 4-hour, it looks very similar to what we're seeing on everything right now. Looks like it's, in a way, I feel like there's almost like fake outs brewing for this to kind of have a little wick down and then a launch to the upside. But when we look at this, similar to what we saw on Ondo and Ethereum and Arweave, we're just having a bit of a head and shoulders here. But we have this little order block. If this can push up and clear this 1080, Then the next level I'm watching for is 11, and then really coming up here into the 1171. And on this, we do see the moment. We do see the money flow. We do see the money flow trying to angle up. We see the VWAP, higher low on the VWAP, angled up, RSI angled up. So although this is rotating over, there are some signals brewing that the bulls are trying to make an attempt here. We just got some decent news on the PPI. We're getting mixed signals on the Eurozone and what's going on in Europe with some in UK with their jobless numbers. So there's these contending ideas about the health of the market. So we just need to be smart here. And I do want to say, but we got a couple more charts to do. I do want to say, as you're trading, as you're participating in this crypto ecosystem, make sure you're protecting yourself. This channel is powered by Arculus. It's our channel partner. Make sure you head over to getarculus.com. This is the best crypto cold storage wallet out there. A number of people I talked to, from Matthew Hyland to Kevin Svensson to a number of other people, all of us here at Hit Network. It's our favorite crypto cold storage solution. And you can see it is not only badass, it is the most secure crypto cold storage solution out there. It is super easy to use. One tap, swap, trade, store your crypto. Head over to getarculus.com and use code LAB10. And remember, let's see how many of you are participating in this $100 free $100 giveaway. 11 of you, one of those is me. Head over to this tweet, sign up with that link, sign up with the link at CoinW. You deposit $100, you get $100. You deposit $200, you get a $200 reward. This is expiring for these deposits. You can always sign up, but this deposit bonus reward is expiring in 2 days. And by the way, if you sign up and like and retweet this post, you get a shot at winning. Also, we're going to randomly draw a name, comment picker, for $100 USDT given to you by me. So you get the $100 and this $100, or $200 and this $100. Go and sign up. You're going to be able to trade with us. And all you got to do, once you click on that link, which is pinned in the top of the live chat, which I can post in the live chat for you again. We're getting this all set up. We got some incredible stuff, free courses, and also live trading sessions where I'm going to be able to look at what trades you're taking. You also can see what trades I'm taking. We're going to be doing this, and you get access to that by signing up and creating an account here and depositing a minimum of $100. So that link is there in the live chat there. We only have 15 people that have signed up. That's why I'm pushing you guys, because this is incredible access that I'm be providing to you guys for free, and come and take advantage of it. Super Final says dump. Is it dumping? Let's go ahead and look at it. Boom. It's not dumping at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You looking at 15 minutes or something? No. Market setting up. Bitcoin still a little bit of a head and shoulders almost forming, but you can't confirm a head and shoulders until you have the breakout down with candle closures. As it stands right now, look at this. Low. We got a higher low. We got the stochastics on the 8 hour have come down, reset, starting to angle up. What is it looking like on the 2 hour? Money flows kind of negative, but it's just chop. We've got higher low on the stochastic RSI angle. Look at this. We found support here on the RSI at about 42. See that? Found support, and this is now breaking past this sort of trend line that we have. What trend line am I talking about? I'm looking at the trend line here on the RSI. Top, rejection, rejection, rejection. We have broken out on the RSI, starting to signal on this 2 hour time frame, maybe an attempt is going to be made back up here to 61,681. If we can clear that, we start making the case for some bullishness, right? Because we're starting to tackle continuation on this small time frame push up. I signed up for CoinW, but I hesitate to deposit based on my level of dislike for the interface. I love CoinW. CoinW, I'm doing a whole training video on it this week to share. For me, I love it. Very easy to utilize, and sometimes it's just familiarity. So I'm going to help you get familiar with it. And it's been around, I think, since 2017. It's a tried and true exchange, one of the top volume exchanges, and they're great partners as well. They're actually hiring me they're bringing me out to Singapore Token 2049. They're doing a massive event out there. I'll be DJing the event as well, which will be quite cool. But things are shaping up, guys. The market still feels frustrating because we want it to go up now. But when we look at this on the daily and we remind ourselves that this is an absolute, this right here that we're looking at, this zone right here is essentially the same thing that we're looking at when we zoom back over here. When we zoom back over here to 2017 and just look at the different shape. Look at the different shape, right? This is coming up into that previous all-time high right here. And then what happened after that? Boom, you had that explosion to the upside. The market's shaping up. We just need to be patient. Kelly, AIOZ and AKT, if you have any time left. I moved my GRT into AKT. Let's do AIOZ. Dave Milton's always here, always engaging. When you guys are here and engaging, I want to give you guys as much as possible. When I see the tweets and the call outs, Tide Temptress gifted 5 memberships. I forgot to call that out. And then also right after that gifted 10 more memberships. Super special shout out to her, or to, I think it's her because it's Temptress, to them. Thank you for the love. Everybody, if you are a member here, drop some of your favorite emojis right now. And by the way, if you do become a BitLab member just on the YouTube alone, we come over here. I just want to show you. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have the all ticked, even if you're not a member, because you get some free stuff sometimes. If your notifications are on, you will see it. Coming back over here, when you come and you see post, yours might say community. Come to that area. This is where you're getting access to the private member streams that we're doing. And sometimes I share the link. Sometimes I forget to delete it. Sometimes I share the link to it's a private link, a private unlisted stream that we do. And if you do have your notifications on, sometimes I give you guys a little nugget to appreciate those of you that have your notifications on. But we've had, we've done Kevin Svensson and Matthew Hyland, and I'm doing breakdowns of TA and different tools and resources. So go ahead and become a member here at BitLab membership. Now let's go ahead and do AIOZ, then we will get out of here. AIOZ Coinbase, it's kind of breaking to the downside, but then look at this nice move. Look at this nice bull flag here. See that? A little bull pennant. Now, this did not quite hit the target yet, but it had a nice, move to the upside, which was likely suppressed by the downturn in the market. Yeah, look, March, we had the downturn just like we saw in Bitcoin. Now we have this falling channel. Now, this is still a bit of a bull flag here. It's starting to get a little too long, but if this is the case, so let's measure it conservatively. This suggests a move up to $4, which is a 10x from here. Are you kidding me? That's a conservative measurement. That's a conservative measurement. Are you kidding me? Now, if you did it from the top of the resistance level, that would suggest a move somewhere up into the $6 to $7 range. Now, as it stands, I mean, we can do it even more conservative just to mind our P's and Q's. Even from where we're at right now, we've got a couple different levels we can watch. Price action right here, just to get to the upper resistance, is a 50% move. To get to the next order block, which is right here, is 72%. To get to this high, 100%. To get this to this high, 140% basically, just to come back to this range high. Now, if this does break down, this did come down here and find support on this. However, if this does come back down and flush this zone, then we're looking at a move likely down to the 22-cent range, maybe even lower. But the market is shaping up, I think, to have the bullish move. I would say sometime starting after about April 19th, towards the end of April, starting to get pushes up on the price action, starting to get that sentiment to come back, a little bit of chop into the middle of September. And then again, I posted on my Twitter last week, I do think that we can get that move up above $83,000 by the end of September. Do you think it's possible? But I want to trade this along the way. I'd love to keep you guys in the know. Make sure you head over to this tweet right here on my page. I just retweeted it again today. You can find it there easily. And head over to bit.ly/BitLab Academy. And you can see the link there. It is also under the page. If you come to the stream that we're on right now, if you scroll down on the description, top line right here, trade with us here on CoinW, get up to $30,500 in bonuses. Sign up on this link right here. Join us. If you retweet the tweet that I just put in that live chat, within the next 3 days, you're going to be entered to win another $100 USDT. Just remember, you got to go and sign up here. You're going to get some free access that we're going to only give people that are signed up and trading with us, so we can work together. We can do this. I can give you feedback on your charts. You can see what I'm doing, why I'm doing certain things, where I'm setting stop losses, how I'm moving that, how I'm navigating. And that's what we got. Kelly just fingered the like. Thank you, Robert Costin. Maybe look at AVAX. Let's look at that right before we go. I love you guys. I just can't get away. Avalanche. We've been calling this beautifully on the way to the downside. Let's go ahead and delete this Fibonacci. Looking at this right now, we just saw Mike Novogratz just made a pretty strong move into Avalanche. It'd be wonderful, just like we saw on the other altcoins, if we saw a little bit of a move down, maybe a touchdown here to 1927, then a continuation, then I can still scoop some up super low. If this does push up, we're watching for 2277, and then through this range here, basically 2280 up to $24. This zone is going to be pivotal. Once we clear through this zone, hopefully find support, then we'll likely see some move to the upside. If we're looking this with the BitLab Intelligence, we got the potential reversal signal. We are pinched right now between the weekly VWAP and the trend signal line. It's just holding there. Once we can break out, we want to look for a retest and continuation. Momentum wave is trickling up. Still negative money flow. This is a 12-hour. What does it look like on the 4-hour? I feel like I'm at an auction house right now or calling a horse race. But we see, look, 6 bullish divergences right here on the BitLab trading stack. By the way, if you haven't yet, you can go and sign up for the courses. You can sign up for the BitLab Discord, where we are breaking things down, telling you exactly what we're seeing, telling you exactly what's going on in this market, calling different charts and setups and breakdowns. It's not just me. We've got a number of professional traders and scalps and so much going on in here. So come and get involved. You can go to lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. That deal is still going to be available while we are still under previous all-time high. It's 15 days free, and then it's 33% off for life. After you sign up for the Discord, there's a upgrade option that you can sign up for these indicators, and you get that deal also. It's not 15 days free, but you get, I think it's 35% off for the life of that subscription. So you get the BitLab Intelligence, you get the BitLab Volume, which is outlining these different support and resistance level based on order blocks, as well as the BitLab Trend Fuel. But this is setting up with 6 bullish divergences on the BitLab trading stack right now. And look at this, called this perfectly. We're finding support on the trend signal line, on the weekly VWAP, reversal signal. This is starting to push up. We want to see this clear $23 to $24, and then likely strong move to the upside. I love what AVAX is doing. I'm looking forward to see how this performs. This is why I still have it as a big holding in my altcoin portfolio. That's all I got for you today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Again, Token Tide Temptress, thank you for being the giver today. I appreciate you. I see you. I feel you. French Toaster says, Mr. Kelly, salute. Salute to all you. And adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Let's head over to DGen Alpha. Taco Tuesday and 3 lab coats in the live chat. Let's go over there and show some love to Mr. Taco. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos.